Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is July. As you know, I'm the Local 1000 president. We're having a meeting tonight, live on Facebook. It starts at 6:30. I'm a few minutes early, so I haven't seen anyone click on yet. And we had an emergency board meeting last night. It started about 6, and we were unable to vote on helping the people in Lansing County. We didn't have enough for a quorum. We needed 33 people out of 65, and we only had 28. So I'm going to repeat myself, so I see a few more people have come on, and I know we're a few minutes early. I have my fancy watch on. So I'll start over here in a few minutes. I'm glad that people are coming on. And I know last night was a interesting night, but it's good. And we want people to watch to see how I will lead Local 1000. And I don't say that word lead very lightly. So we're trying to help the people in Lansing County. The prison is closing up here, unfortunately. And we wanted to set $2 million aside. Hi, Kim. And we weren't able to do that last night. But we may try again in the future. And I see you too, Becky and Troy, and anyone else that I've missed so far. And so, you know, sometimes people are resistant to change because they're afraid. And I see you, Alicia. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we're going to wait a few more minutes. And I know some people want to actually come on and talk tonight. I think Frank Askin wants to come on and talk for a little bit. And I believe Scott B. Smith wants to come on. And so what I ask everyone tonight is, if you can please hold your statements to 2 minutes, and I will not cut you off. I will not interrupt you. I will let you complete your train of thought. Okay, so we're close to 6:30. We'll wait a few more minutes, and then we'll get started. And so tonight, it's not called, can you choose the... Oh, no, so Jonathan, what did you choose on the SCI Local 1000? Okay, so I'm on my page. The email went out with my page on there, so I can't do that tonight. And the reason why we're not doing a Zoom link is we had some problems with the last Zoom. And I see you, Scuba Michael. And so I wanted to do this live tonight, and I didn't want to have the staff work. The staff worked so hard last night, and I just don't like working people into the ground. That's not good. So tonight, if the staff wants to watch, they can. If the staff wants to come on and make comments, they can. But I'm up in Lansing County right now. A gentleman has been so nice to let me come to his house. And I'll be going to the prison tomorrow. And Annika Walls, the VP Organizing Representation, she's driving up, along with Sophia Perkins. And so all three of us will go tomorrow to both prisons. And then tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we'll be going to a community event as well. I see you, Jonathan. Okay, so I think it's almost 6:30. Almost 6:30. Close to it. So we'll wait another minute. It's going to be a fun night tonight. And hopefully everyone will be able to talk in 2 minutes or less. And tonight's about my ability to listen. And so usually we call these calls Stewart calls. No more. No more. These calls will now be called Local 1000 Listens to You. That's what they're going to be called. All right. So it looks like it's 6:30. So let's get started. So I'll start all over again. Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown, and tonight is July 7th, 2021. We're doing a Facebook Live from my page. I didn't want to make the staff work tonight. And this is not a Stewart call. This is Local 1000 Listens to You. And so the goal tonight is to hear people's concerns. Everyone, all represent employees, not just job stewards. So we'll get started really quickly. And again, hopefully everyone can talk in 2 minutes or less. And I'm going to try to go through every question. I'm going to listen. I'm going to take notes. And I have someone helping me take notes, my assistant at Local 1000, Michelle. I see you, Michelle. I know you're there somewhere. She's going to take notes, as well as myself. And I'm sure other staff members will also watch as well. Savannah Alexander, I see you. You're right. Get your popcorn and Patron. That's right. We're going to have fun tonight. All right, so let's get started. Who has a question about the union, last night, or anything? And I'll try to answer as quickly as I can, and then we'll get to the next question. So let's get it started. Who has the first question? Okay, who has the first question tonight? This is Local 1000 listens to you. So I want to listen to what you have to say. 2 minutes or less. Who has the first question? Okay, so I know people have, I see Cinta Davis. Okay, so go ahead, Cinta Davis. What is your question? I see your hand raised. Okay, so Maureen Thompson has jumped in. What about the closing of the South facility at Correctional Training Facility Soledad? The secure level is one is being closed September, but what happens to 17 and 20? Okay, I was unaware of the one in Soledad closing. What I would say is, hopefully, okay, Maureen, do you want to be on the video with me? Are you sure you want to do that? Okay. The reason, the one at Soledad is closing, yes, we want to help those people too. And so when we were setting the money aside, the $2 million for Lassen County, which is what I wanted to do, what we were going to do is spread that money out to all the prisons. But because of Lassen County, this whole community is going to be destroyed. That's why I was putting my emphasis on Lassen County. I wasn't ignoring the other prisons that are closing. So I don't want you to think, Maureen, that I'm ignoring the people down in Soledad. I don't want you to think that. Okay? So the people in Lassen County had reached out to me, and they made a very strong argument about why their prisons should never close to begin with, and how it's going to wreak havoc on the people in Lassen County, and I believe them. And I'm not so sure down in Soledad that their lives will be destroyed and the community destroyed by the facility down there closing. Okay, so hold on. So, all right, so Maureen here, I'll approve you if you still want to come on. And if you don't want to come on, then I'll go on to the next person. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to go to Disak Martinez Stahl. And we'll see if he wants to come on. He may have made a mistake. I'm not sure. Hi, how are you this evening?
Richard, how's it going this evening?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming on. And we have the ground rules of 2 minutes or less. So I'll let you ask your question. Go ahead, sir.
Definitely was one of your supporters for this election. Just want to have some comments about last evening. And basically, you know, from my standpoint, my viewpoint, last night, regardless of what was going on that upset the DLC board, the agenda items were the agenda items. And if these folks are going to represent us as the membership, we put you in place because the membership felt that they were not being listened to. And now we have the board proving the case that the membership is still not being listened to. Now, you know, being around some of these pages that are out there right now, last night was an organized effort to not have a quorum. Their intent was never to have a quorum, and that's upsetting. And they don't agree with maybe the points or the platform that you're putting forward for Lassen County and for some of the other items. They have the right, which no one's saying that they can't, you know, say that they don't agree. But when it's something as serious as our members' jobs being put at place, these folks have got to step up with options. They can't just sit there and um, they can't sit there and just disagree with you. That's not their job. Their job is to represent folks. And just because the folks up in Lassen, some of them are those DLC presidents aren't necessarily responsible for them, that doesn't mean that they don't need to be listening, period. And that's what these folks at the DLC, at the board level right now, they need to pay attention. Just because they don't agree with the style that you bring to the table with what you're trying to do, does not mean that everybody else is not watching and paying attention to what their inactions are. And yeah, we see the typical folks like Askin and Smith. They, you know, a bunch of roosters in the hen house, you know, trying to flap their feathers and raise up dust. But at the same time, everybody else is paying attention. There's a lot of people that are not active on the boards and they're not active on seeing what's going on, and they're watching. And when it's time to make changes, they're going to see who's actually stepping forward for the membership and actually trying to come up with ideas to save jobs instead of just basically brown bagging everybody and filibustering their way through everything. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for everything. I really appreciate that. All right, so I'll make a quick comment about that. DSAC makes great points. Now, I can't prove to you that the board last night had an organized effort to not have a quorum. Now, I know people on Facebook said that DLC president, oh boy, 767 Richard Wake said, don't give him a quorum. And I know a lot of people said, Richard HR1 him. No, because everyone has an opinion. And we don't want to censor people's voices because they don't agree with ours. Now, was DLC President 767 Richard Wake, was he successful in not getting his quorum? Yes, he was. I mean, but was it a planned effort? I can't prove that. So I respect what DSAC says, and he's right. We do have to come together and work things out, and I was elected. So that's all that I'm going to say. And look, we may try it again to help the people in Lassen County because I'm still determined to help them. And maybe the board will this time have a change of heart. Maybe that they'll find love in their heart and sympathy in their heart and empathy in their heart to help the people up here because this community will be destroyed. Make no bones about it. And from the information I'm being given, I'm being told this prison did not have to close. It was number 11 on the list. I'm trying to keep my voice. It was number 11 on the list. It was not number 1. It was not in the top 5, not the top 10. Why is this prison closing? You'll find out tomorrow. I'll do a live Facebook video tomorrow. I know why, but I'm gonna keep my answer short. Thanks, DSAC. Okay, so let's move on to the next person. Let me see who's in the queue here. Okay, so no one else has come into the queue. I'm trying to go through these texts. It's teleworker Corey Saturn. Is telework going to stay? As long as I'm the president of Local 1000, we're going to do everything we can to make telework stay. In our current contract, it states it's up to the agency. That's a problem. So in our next contract, we got to make telework permanent. And I've already been on record saying telework 75 to 90% of the time. Next contract. And so people say, well, Richard, you say a lot of different things. How do we know you're telling the truth? Gosh, I hate to bring our staff, our Local 1000 staff into it, but on day one, they ask the same question. So when I go to work every day, maybe I see somebody, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm calling somebody on the phone. So our staff, Local 1000 staff, they're already working this telecommute while I'm the president permanently. It's just that simple. But we have to negotiate this in our next contract, which means we need a massive strike fund. Okay, I'll stop talking. Okay, so I see someone here. Let's see, Larry Griggs. So I'm going to approve Larry Griggs. So he's coming on. Okay, so he maybe did by mistake. Okay, so sometimes people hit the come on button by mistake. Okay, so I see Daniel Lee. They want to close 4 more by 2022. So let me quickly say this about these prison closings, prison closures scheduled. To help people get out of prison faster, because you want to help them because maybe they shouldn't have gone to begin with, or you're trying to, decrease the population. That's fantastic. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody in this great country deserves a second chance. Sometimes 3 or 4 chances. And for those who take life one day at a time, it may take them 100 times to get it right. But we all deserve to be given an opportunity to do better. But in the same hand, when you close the prisons, you don't want to create social justice on one hand and create a social nightmare for people on the other hand. And this idea that the jobs are guaranteed, people can be guaranteed to be moved to other locations. There are no guarantees. What's that famous saying? You're guaranteed taxes, trouble, and death. Now, those are 3 guarantees. Everything else, So, creating this social justice, letting people out of prison, I love it. But you don't create a social nightmare by, people who are losing their jobs in their communities like Lansing County. This is not right. This is not right. Okay, so here, I'll stop talking and see if I can get some more questions. Is there a call-in option for those not on Facebook? Kimberly Cortejo. No, not that I'm aware of. So if you have a question, or send it to me right now, and I'll try to go through these texts here, because I'm going live. I'm going live. So hold on. So here's another question by Denise Quinn Allen. Hold on one second here. All right, Denise Quinn Allen asked, do you feel your conduct at the board of directors meeting last night was an embarrassment to SEIU? And I would tell you, it depends on the viewer. It depends on the viewer if you think it was an embarrassment last night. Some people say, oh, he didn't act like the former president. And, they say she was always professional and she was always highly dignified. And some people would say, no, they liked what I did last night because I brought attention to the fact that our union has been non-transparent for many, many, many years. So I think it's in the eyes of the beholder, Denise Quinn Allen. And so if you feel like my conduct was embarrassment last night, I ask you to forgive me. So other people have called me and said they deeply appreciated what I did last night. And we will have board of directors meetings live, Facebook Live. And even though people may not like that, we're going to offer transparency. And we're not doing strategy. We're not revealing private information the way some people claim. And this is why I was elected. Remember, on my platform, I said total transparency. And that's what I meant. But I want to thank you for your question, Denise Allen. That's a great question, because a lot of people are asking that question. So it's very subjective. Okay. So, okay. Someone said they received their ballot in the mail today. Very well. Very good, should I say. The redo election for the VP of bargaining is happening. And as you know, that Kevin Menninger, Robert Bays, Irene Green won this first election, by the way, Irene Green, Kim Cowart, and Ramona Kramer. These are the 5 candidates running for VP of bargaining. And I wish all of those candidates nothing but success. And, you know, my heart goes out to Irene because she won, but our elections process failed. 2 people ran that should not have been able to run, which is very ironic because my platform point talks about letting everybody run for office and removing all time restraints. And so if you adopted my 10-point platform on that particular point, then you wouldn't have that problem. We wouldn't have had this problem, and we wouldn't have to spend all this extra money. This is very expensive what we're doing, and the process hasn't changed. It's the same process. So you may see some people question the process all over again. Okay. Let's see if we have more questions here. So I see you, Maureen Thompson. Also, they closed the South facility before and had to reopen. That's news to me. I did not know that, Maureen Thompson. Okay. So I'm scrolling down. So I see LaMonica Gale say, why would they be in a board if their decisions don't impact many? Okay, that's a good point. So I see a Javier Cardenas. All of the bargaining chairs can easily be recalled for not doing their jobs. And so I would say that is bargaining chairs, DLC presidents, or statewide officers, all of us are subject to recall. All of us are, not just the bunk chairs. So when we say things, we have to remember, it applies to all statewide leadership for Local 1000. Okay. Let me see here. So I see Letitia Breeden. We need to keep the union politically neutral. Many members are paying high dues and the union funnels money to special interests that do not benefit a modern union. Agreed, Letitia Breeden. Agreed. I don't believe our union should be involved in politics. But there's one area that I do believe we should be involved in. And just until someone asks me about it, I'm just gonna, keep going through these questions here and these comments, because I'm trying to keep my answers very short and very tight. Stacy Casho, they were elected to represent groups of people, and if they don't want to stay for the emergency meeting and participate, that is just discrimination. That's a very interesting point. They were elected, but here's the thing. Some of the people ran unopposed. So we don't know if they were really elected by the people or not. They ran unopposed. And some of the presidents were elected in the elections. So if you go on the Local 1000 website, hopefully it's still up there, you'll see the unopposed. Every officer in the union who ran unopposed. And hold on with this recall of Richard Wake. Hold on, y'all. And some people ran in the elections. So you can look on our Local 1000 website, and you can see how people really feel about voting in our union. And this is why I work around the clock every day, because we want to encourage people to vote. We want people to participate. So, sometimes my videos are exciting. I'm talking real loud. And then sometimes I'm very down to earth and having an easygoing conversation with you. And even though sometimes people want me excited, some people want me very monotone. But what I know is this: if you're going to raise this membership level from 56% up to over 90%, you're going to have to really inspire people. And being monotone and professional, that will not get it done, particularly when you're involved in political issues that are bipartisan, or partisan, should I say. Okay, so that thing about Richard Wake being recalled, I am not for any board of directors member being recalled. We're not going to build unity by trying to recall each other. We're not. And remember, when you try to say, hey, we want to recall this person, they may turn around and say, well, we're going to recall Richard. So we have to remember, keep our union strong and unified. And let's just be honest with ourselves. Our union is not divided in two. No, it's divided in three different ways. And that's why people outside of our union are coming to watch this, because they've never seen a union president be this transparent, if ever any type of transparency. And so when I don't act like a politician and I don't act real seasoned and, I have a suit and a tie on, I think the only people who can act really tough in a union is those Teamsters. No, they can do what they want to do. But for everybody else, they want us to act a certain way. But I've told you from the very beginning, I'm not a politician. And people tell me, well, it doesn't matter, you're in a political position. No, it does matter. And that's why sometimes I have a white shirt on. Sometimes I have a colored shirt on. Sometimes I have a t-shirt on. Sometimes, I'm dressed in different ways. You don't know what you're going to get from me other than my 10-point platform. Okay, so let me see if I can catch some more stuff here. No. We're not waterboarding anybody. No. We don't do that. Benjamin, I see you, Benjamin. I can't say your last name. I'm going to say Ariga. The DOC presidents have to be accountable to the members in their DOCs. I want to talk about that for a second, real quick. DOCs, presidents. And I'm going to get people to say this. I'm writing this down. Not just to members. DOC presidents, all leadership for Local 1000, we're accountable to all represented employees, whether they pay money or not. And when people tell you, when they say members, they mean both, that is not true. Because we know that only dues paying members can currently vote in our elections and contract ratifications. So let's not mix our words. We are responsible to that contract. And therefore, we're responsible for 99,938 represented employees. We're no longer at 96,000. And I don't know how long we've been at that 99,938. I don't know, because the union never told you. But if you go to our union website, and go right now, you should see that number, because I was told this morning you will see that number, 99,938 represented. And then you'll see the number for dues paying members as well. That's what I was told this morning would happen. It did happen, and hopefully you'll see our bios. My bio, Annika's, Tony owns the current DP of bargaining. Election is decided, but we're responsible to all employees. When you hear these people, members, no, represent employees. You can go to the policy file and look that up. Okay. Represent employee should be losing their job to sign contract. If you were working in the private industry and you fell under the Labor Relations Board and the company decided, oh, contract, we're taking your jobs and we're going to take them to take your jobs out of country, then you're just out of luck. But we're still under a signed contract, but we're a public sector union. Public sector union. So, our laws are a lot different. Okay. I'm going through. I think during roll call, during DLC president made a point to state that they were there to support their members. I think that statement alone is a good indication of what was being organized behind the scenes. Okay, LaMonica Gill, I'm going to read it again. I think during roll call, DLC presidents made a point to say they were there to support their members. I think that statement alone is a good indication of what was being organized behind the scenes. Okay. And then I see Cinta Davis. So, the Yvonne Walker situation. I've been asked to say something briefly about this. I've been asked to no longer say things about Yvonne Walker. I'm writing this down. I've been told that we can't keep bashing the former president and think that we can still unify and go forward. And that's reasonable. And I would agree with that. People are going to speak their minds. In this great country, we currently have the ability to speak our minds on most issues without suffering consequences on most issues, because cancel culture is out of control. Do we agree with the leadership style of Yvonne Walker? I don't think many of us do. I know I don't agree with her decision making at all on most things. Some things I do agree with her on. So, when she gave up our money in 2010, 2012, and this current situation that ended, the 2020 PLP, this wasn't good because we were under a signed contract. So some of her decision making is quite questionable in my opinion. Okay, that's it. Okay. Senator Davis, how do you propose to keep politics out of the union? Great question. We will no longer be endorsing candidates, political candidates. I'll say it again. We will no longer be endorsing candidates, political candidates, or social justice issues. Now, as everyone knows, the union had the emergency board meeting on June 2nd to help this current governor fight his recall. And they agreed to give him $2 million because they believed in him and they believe in his leadership. They believe in his integrity. They believe that he's labor friendly. They believe that he's the very best thing for us, for the union, in the long term. This is what the board was saying. They agreed that having Gavin Newsom as our governor is the best thing for us. And they did it, and they set that $2 million aside. Well, actually, gave it the $1 million. I'm sorry, the $1 million to the SIU State Council, and then they'll eventually give it to either his campaign or whoever works for the governor to help him fight his recall, because they believe in his leadership. That's what they're telling you. That was their opinion at the time, and it's probably still their opinion. A lot of DOC presidents are now still president. And so when they had the emergency meeting to help him with his recall and give SEIU State Council $1 million, they thought that was the right thing to do. They said, he's labor friendly. He has our back. It doesn't matter about him taking 2 days of pay for 2 straight years, but then he stopped it early. That doesn't matter. They say that we must keep him in office. It's vital to our success. That's what they told you when they said gave that $1 million to SEIU State Council, and they took the stance to oppose the recall. That's what they're telling you. Now, many of us don't agree with that, but that's the stance the union took, that they believed in Gavin. They believed that he's the best thing for us. And even though we lost all that money, they said that doesn't matter. And we have, that's their opinion. We all have our opinions. And when they tell you that they believe in this person, Gavin, and that basically that's how they're going to vote to make sure that he stays in office, that the recall is not successful, then they're telling you how strongly they feel about him. The only thing I'm telling you is I feel so strongly about the people in Lassen County that I want to set aside $2 million to save their lives, their families, and the community here in Lassen County. That's all that I'm saying. I'm saying that we should take care of our own. And, being involved in politics in this country is very divisive. But when they, did the emergency board meeting, they felt very strongly about that. And so, we have to respect people. Whether we like what they do or not, we have to respect them that they were able to have the emergency board meeting, have a quorum, and get it done for him. That we have to respect. And what I did last night didn't happen. And so, they felt that it's more important for us to help this current governor than it was to help the people we represent in Lassen County. this. So, you know, we all have opinions about things. And, you know, here's the great thing about this recall election coming up. You'll get a chance to vote. Remember, I was begging people to vote in the election? Well, now you have another election coming up, and you'll get a chance to vote again outside of our current VP of bargaining re-election. So you get a chance to vote in our great country. And I think that's the most exciting thing about this. You know, it's not an election year. The election year, I believe, is in 22. So you get a chance to vote this year to keep the governor or to elect a new governor. And I think that's exciting. So anytime you get a chance to vote in this great country, take every advantage of it. That's just fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, so I see people talking with one another. I'll stay out of it. What were the results of the last 2 years of negotiations with the CDCR closures? DLC President 790, Cindy Doyle. Haven't been informed of any results. Cindy, that's a great question. I'll get the answer. Great question, Cindy. Oh, and one last point about when the board decided to do the emergency board meeting for the current governor. I'm still trying to find out, Cindy, maybe you know, did they do an emergency board meeting for the hero pay? The hero pay, the essential worker pay, and the premium pay? That's what I'm trying to find out, because the staff still hasn't told me anything yet about that. So I don't know if they had a closed door secret meeting about that hero pay. So maybe, you know, when they decided to give the SEIU State Council $1 million, were they already told that, hey, the hero pay, the essential worker pay, and the premium pay, were they already told that money was coming to our represented employees? Because I didn't hear about that. So Cindy, if you know anything, and the staff hasn't told me anything, but you know, I have to ask some more questions, because if I don't ask a lot of questions to the staff, then, you know, sometimes it's hard to get information. So, okay. So I see here, SACB had an excellent issue on alternatives for local economies. Okay. Oh, so wait, I have someone here. So I have okay, I see Larry Griggs again, but he didn't come on. So I have a Robert Bays. So here, I'll approve Robert.
Richard, I'm doing well. Yourself? Obviously, I think I have a lot to say, but I know you're limiting to 2 minutes. And something that kind of just popped up is, you know, I'm someone who's always been about treating everyone with dignity and respect, right? All of our brothers and sisters, you know, our fellow union represented members, however you want to call it, with dignity and respect. And that's why I've always treated you as such. And a lot of people think that you and I are teamed up. A lot of people thought me and Yvonne were teamed up. And it's because I try to treat people with that dignity and respect and show, you know, that common courtesy, I guess, to our fellow people. But I do have to ask you why you keep, because you just said the same thing on this video, that you wanted to end the divisiveness, but yet you keep on making this whole word members a divisive issue. And I guess I'm kind of confused on why that is, because your 10-point platform uses the word members a lot. So like your number 4 is create a single union membership class who all have the same voting rights. Mm-hmm. Your number 6, right? Create transparent accountability by publishing all member questions along with the answers on a new union secured website. So I think that it's pretty clear, even yourself, and other people, when we talk about and use the word member, a lot of people truly do mean the people that we represent, the people that we're working for, the people who are in our union. And I think that your own words on your 10-point platform also show that member is just kind of a general word that's easier to use than trying to get all nitpicky with language. So why do you keep making this such a divisive issue if you're trying to bring us all together? Like, you keep calling people out for using the word member when they're clearly using it in the same context you're using it in your 10-point platform. Isn't that divisive and something that we should try to stop? Or am I missing something?
Okay, so yeah, I think you are missing something. I'm gonna go to my point 5. It says here, and this is the 2021 brochure. Create transparent accountability by publishing all questions along with the answers on a new union secured website.
Questions. It says all member questions.
Hold on.
Does it not? I'm reading it on your website.
No. Okay. Maybe someone made an error on their website.
Right
on my
here.
brochure that I'm looking at.
The video right here.
Okay.
All member questions.
Okay. Robert. That may be a mistake on the website. Hold on. I understand what you're doing, Robert, but let me finish.
I'm just asking. Like, see, it says
I know.
Too.
Wait,
Membership.
Robert. Are you done? Because I didn't cut you off. So let me finish reading out of my brochure, because this is what I report people to, my brochure. If that's a mistake on my website, I'll get it corrected very soon. So right here on my brochure, it tells you, point 5, create transparent accountability by publishing all questions along with the answers on a new union secured website available to all represented employees. And so if I had a mistake on my website, I apologize for that, but it's in my brochure. Now, I'm gonna go back to quickly 4, create a single union membership class. And when I say membership class, what I'm trying to do is create where we're all members, where we all, here I say here, all have the same voting rights and job stewardship. That's the catcher right there. So if everybody had the same voting rights and job stewardship, then you could say members. But right now, we don't have that. But thanks for your time. Now I'm gonna move on to the next person. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time with Robert because I want other people to get involved. But if I had a mistake on my website, I will get that corrected, because I know what it says here in this brochure that I was handing out and sending people. Okay, let's see here. Craig Nelson, you are now talking about politics in your capacity as president. I thought you wanted to get out of talking about that. This is a policy of the state which you do not want to be part of influencing. This is politics. Yours is okay, but not anyone else's. So Craig, I'll quickly answer you. That's not true. That, yours is okay, but not anyone else's. Remember, I'm not part of council culture. You can speak your mind. What I said is we're not going to be any political spending in politics. And what I said was the union had an emergency board meeting. They decided to give $1 million to SIU State Council to help Gavin, the current governor, fight his recall. And they took a position to oppose the recall. And what I simply said is they felt very strongly about that. And I laid out the reasons why they did that. And then I laid out the reasons why I feel so strong about our represented employees of Local 1000, particularly those in Lansing County, whose lives are getting destroyed because of this unnecessary, unneeded prison closure. That's what I said. Okay, let's move on. Richard Rick makes a great point here. Cities should not depend on prisons for prosperity. That's essentially prison fascism. You know what? That's a very subjective answer. DLC President 767 Richard Wake. I'm glad you were able to come on tonight. I know you were unavailable last night, and I did get your email, Richard. I want you to know that. I got your email. So this is a question throughout America. Prisons, are they really needed? Do we need them? Do we need the private for-profit prisons? So everyone has a strong opinion about this. And I'll probably surprise Richard Wake by saying I think we need less prisons. However, we do need prisons. And however, if you create a prison, put it in a small community, and that community is dependent on that prison, if you're going to close that prison in that community for social justice, then you better make 100% for sure that those people can have their same lives without being uprooted and destroyed. That's what I would say. And I'd also say to DLC President 767 Richard Wake, remember NAFTA? Remember NAFTA? That agreement that was signed by President Bill Clinton, and how that turned out? And prisons didn't have anything to do with that. So I think it's all subjective to people. You know, we want to have, this is the greatest country on earth. That's just my personal opinion. I probably shouldn't say that. And we can create jobs. Not change jobs, create jobs. And I don't see the state of California going above and beyond for these people up here in Lassen County, when I know that their prison should not be closing as a political action. And you're going to hear more about it tomorrow. That this prison should not be closing. And I know in my heart why this prison is closing. Okay, I'm trying to go quick. Kim Wiley. Susanville is remote and depends on the prisons. Prison reforms can be made and jobs can be retained. It takes communication and the ability to work for the people. Agreed. All right, so I have someone else here. I see Larry Griggs, so I'm going to try to get Larry Griggs again and see if he can come on. So we're adding him on right now. No answer from the video guest. Okay, so we'll go back. And now we'll try to go to Mindy Adams Matsumoto. So we're adding Mindy on right now. We're adding her on right now. Okay, we're still adding her. So hopefully she'll be with us here in a moment.
Yes, hi.
Hi. Oh wait,
hey
Mindy,
I'm
don't.
on my iPad. So
Yeah, don't do what I did last week, because the people will eat you alive.
There.
I had my upside down video or my sideways video last week when I turned my phone to the side.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm still upside.
You have to flip. There you go. You got.
Hi.
You got. All right.
There you go. Well, you know, I'm technically challenged.
I am too.
I have a question. Yeah, there I am. You want to get out of politics. And we're getting feedback now. With regarding to our COPE fund, how do you plan to manage that? What are your plans for our COPE fund? Because I've been a union member leader for 17 years, and I believe in COPE, and I do believe in politics being involved. You were saying yesterday that they are not our bosses, but technically they kind of are, because they signed our contract. And I don't know if you recall when they did not sign our contract. They did not agree. And that's when politics and lobbying for labor friendly. I don't care if you're red, green, purple, orange, polka dotted, whatever. But it is important to have labor friendly people in the legislature that sign our contract before they send it to the governor for implementation. It signs into law. It's like a stop sign. Our contract is like running a red light, running a stop sign, speeding, all those kind of things. So I guess I need to understand how you plan to get completely out of politics.
Oh, okay. So, Mindy, I'm practicing listening and not cutting people off.
Thank you, and I do appreciate that. I'm trying to speak well with no anger, no attitude, no nothing. Just a question that wants information.
Okay, and I love how you said this, because a lot of people have this question. And so, if you've ever noticed, all of our political spending is always aimed towards the Democrats.
Not necessarily.
And you know, in our
That's
union.
not how I was taught. So
Okay.
I'm
Well, I
interrupt
understand.
you.
I understand. So what I would say is to all the Republicans in our union who are non-members, they would strongly disagree with you. And so when you look at all, of the social justice that our union has been involved in with the Black Lives Matter, the Fight for 15, open immigration, all of those social justice issues that has dominated our union and kind of put our name out there, SEIU Local 1000, all of that has still not prevented you from being furloughed, POP'd in 2010, 2012, or 2020, or 2021 that was canceled. So all of that political stuff that has been going on all these years didn't do you a bit of good. It didn't do you a bit of good.
May I disagree?
Oh, and second, okay, go ahead.
The governor, we were the only union that the governor came to, Miss Walker, and said, hey, we need this 9.23%. We need that coming out. If you can find a way to mitigate the actual impact of our paycheck, knock yourself out. And that's how we came up with the side letter. Also in the side letter, we put the stipulation that if we do have a surplus, that the PLPs would stop. If we had not put that stipulation in the side letter, we'd still be on PLPs. But Miss Yvonne had the forethought and foresight to put that in there. And when we negotiated the closure of it, because of the surplus in our budget and state's budget, we also were able to negotiate the raise we passed up on last year and got it today, or got it currently this year, plus a 0.05% impaction fee. So it's like we didn't lose that raise last year. We, instead of getting 4%, we got the 4.05.
So let me respond by saying this. You haven't, you know, it's easy to listen to what Yvonne said. And if you believe in what she says, if you believe in her integrity, then it's easy to accept it. A lot of people don't believe in her integrity because of the salary stipends. When she bargained for 24 hours in a board of directors meeting on June 26, 2016, after our prior contract negotiations had broken down. So she lost a lot of trust in people when she did that. So when you ask us to trust Yvonne, and we don't want to make this about Yvonne, but you ask us to trust the prior president, I don't, and many people don't.
Okay.
But here, hold on, wait, I want to finish this.
Okay. And I have
when you talk about the contract, right? So can I? Okay, I'm going to finish. Yes. When you say that the contract is signed by the legislature, or basically by the governor, he approves it after the legislature agrees to it. What you failed to say is we also had to sign that. So it's a 50-50 split. If our people had voted that contract down, then they would have had nothing to sign for anyway. So again, it's a 50-50 split. But let me go to the next point, because I'm trying to be quick and let you talk a bit. Then I have to get to the next person. Okay. The next thing about the POP ending. Some people said because of the recall, that's the only reason why the POP ended, because of that recall. But here's the next point I want to make real quick. I know you might not agree with that, but some people do. And actually I do. So here's the next point. You say politics matters so much, and the governor, labor friendly, we supported him in his election in 2018. He took pictures with Yvonne and many of our people, and he has our back. But he took 2 days from us, and they threatened us with furlough. And then, with all that budget surplus that you talked about, Yvonne did not tell me on my way in, oh, by the way, the hero pay, the essential worker pay, and the premium pay, don't worry about it, Richard. I got it all covered. It's coming immediately to our people. I never heard that conversation. With that being said, we're going to stop here because you were nice to me. You were nice to me. And you know, Mindy, ain't many folks being nice to me. So when we do these calls, yeah, these are live, unscripted, unedited, unrehearsed calls.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So I'm going to thank you for being nice to me and asking me great questions. Those are great questions. And then I wanted to say something else, but I won't. I'll wait to someone else, and then I'll come back to it. And I'll think about you when I say it. Okay, thank you for being nice. And I'm going to go to the next person here.
But
you're very welcome. Thank you.
Answer my question, what you're going to do with COPE.
That's voluntary. You're right. And that's a deeper issue. You're right. Because COPE's voluntary. That's you giving out of your heart. And that money goes to international in DC. That money does not stay with us. that money does not stay with us. It goes to international in DC, and they decide their national agenda. They need money to fund their national agenda. So all the locals send them money for the affiliation name, and then they send them COPE money by their members who agree to give up more money. So
okay,
that money
how about
goes
we
to.
have a conversation offline? Would that be good?
Okay,
Thank
that's
you,
fine.
Richard.
Because, and one quick thing, the COPE, this is going to come up again. I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to come up again. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, now we have a DC, I can't say the last name. But DC is coming on, and we'll see what DC has to say. And I really appreciate Mindy being nice. She was so nice. No answer from the live guest, so maybe they made a mistake. Okay, now I have a Carolyn Alus. So she's coming on. Hi, Carolyn. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you, Richard?
I'm okay.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you this question, because I've been watching your videos and I've been hearing different things, and I just want to ask you, are you willing to work with all of the stewards, whether, oh, I'm getting feedback. I'm sorry, Richard. Oh, I'm getting feedback from what you just said. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, wow, this is weird. Just a moment.
I'll take your time.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask you because I've been hearing your videos and different things. So my question is, oh my God, I'm gonna remove. I removed my earbuds and hopefully I'm not getting the feedback that I was getting prior. So my question to you is, are you willing to work with the stewards no matter whom they worked with previously, as long as they're willing to give you advice? Are you willing to listen to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, because like we want to help you succeed, but we want to be felt that we're heard. Like,
so as you know tonight, the name is no longer Stewart's Call. It's called Local 1000 Listens to You. So I don't want to cut you off. So I'm asking everyone to talk 2 minutes or less. And so I try to answer as quickly as possible. So yes, I'm willing to work with the stewards. Absolutely. And I'm going to listen. Absolutely.
okay, thank you, Richard. I'm sorry I was having problems with my audio and feedback, and so that's why there was a delay. But I just wanted to ask you that question to make sure that we can all work together.
Carolyn, you've seen my videos. You know my videos are off the charts, so you don't have to worry about that. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna try to catch up. Okay, so people are talking to one another. This is good. They're not screaming. We're actually having a dialogue while people are screaming at each other. I think that's progress. Okay. We don't need a smooth. Okay, Cynthia Davis. We don't need a smooth talker. We need someone to stand up and help us, not politicians. I'm here. That's why I'm here. Okay. So I see Craig Nelson. Your conduct is dividing or divisive. I don't see you uniting, just offering division. So Craig Nelson, I'm going to respect your opinion. And this is why we do these Facebook Lives, unscripted, unedited, unrehearsed. And I don't have the staff working overtime tonight. And hopefully down the road you'll quote change your mind. And, I was elected off my 10-point platform, and many people are coming to, quote, attack the platform because this is a, quote, free country. And so I'm going to respect what you say, and I'm going to try to continue to earn your trust, but it's going to take time. And once people have done things for so many years in a row, when a new person comes and they want to create a whole new culture, most people are going to be resistant to that because it's too scary. You don't know how it's going to turn out. So, but thanks for your opinion, Craig Nelson. Alfred Torres, transparency is good, change is good. Yeah, but like I said last night, Alfred Torres, you can't change what you never had. And we've never had a labor union. We've had a, quote, social justice political organization. We've never had a labor union. Therefore, you have to create a labor union, and that's what we're doing. Okay, thank you, Alicia Nelson Presswood, and I'm keep giving you this transparency. Christy Williams, the email I received was titled "SAIU listens to you." It says, "Is the host, not the speaker?" Right. So when you ask me questions, I'm trying to answer and I'm trying to go through. So if you want to come on, Christy, I'll let you come on and you say it for 2 minutes and I'll try to speak back really fast. So I thought I'd get more questions. And it should have said local 1000. So we'll have to correct that for the next email. Kimberly, I'm all for inclusion is also important. What about the people who are not on Facebook? Great point. So when we do this, we'll have to figure when we do next on Zoom, go to Facebook, and on our website. Hopefully staff is listening. All these videos that I have to go on our site completely now. Who want to stay in their community, their kids are in school, their families have been here for years. So I have not heard of a number of people leaving Laskin County because of unnecessary prison closure, California Correctional Center, CCC. Andrea Smith, we're locked into a contract too. In our next, we're not going to have that OPEB. That's part of my 10 platform. And Park, why can't you do these on Zoom? All of us from Facebook or want to be. So next one we have next week, we'll go back to having Zoom, and I'll still do Facebook and Zoom at the same time. Last night, Park, and so I didn't want to go in tonight. People, families, people have lives outside of Local 1000. So that's why we didn't do Zoom tonight. Next week, we'll make sure we have Zoom. Oh, and people should be able to hit Zoom, and you'll get the email a day ahead of time. Okay. Again, Cindy Dole, I have not heard of anybody volunteering to leave. Maybe I'll hear about it tomorrow. I can ask them tomorrow how many people have volunteered to leave versus those who are trying to stay here with their families and their community. Wait a minute here. Will you unblock those you have blocked to allow them to be on these calls? Let all members in. So you mean let all represented employees in? Absolutely. So I don't know who you're referring to about you have blocked. So I sent Frank Askin is supposed to send me a friendship request. I had unblocked Scott B. Smith months ago, and I sent him a message. So I haven't seen him come on yet. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Craig Nelson. I would assume not many. This is by Alicia Presswood. Let's have deep roots in Laskin County. Okay. Okay, so there are people talking to one another. I'll stay out of it. And then I see Karen Duvall. They don't have to negotiate what they want to close. College HR rules say they can only meet and confer on the impact of voluntary transfers, SROA, and voluntary transfer and layoffs. Correct. Richard Wake, Mr. Brown wants you to believe that the prison closure is related to the recall so he can continue to promote his collaboration with the Right to Work organizations. So, DLC 767 President Richard Wake. I put my hand on God through Jesus Christ on my mother's grave. I am not working with the Right to Work organizations. And no matter how much you continue to say that, you're just making false claims about me as the Local 1000 president. And you continue to make them over and over and over again without any proof. And when I do interviews with people, and someone from another agency takes a little clip and throws it in their article and acts like I talked to them, that's not the case. I know the people I've talked to, they have never told me they were with the Right to Work or the Freedom Foundation or any other organization that's trying to destroy unions. So when you continue to make those claims, these are false claims. And you're a DLC 767 president. And people listening to you make these false claims. And they're wondering why you're doing that. Why are you creating this dissension? Let's move on. Okay, let's move on here. Laura Hernandez Slavic. Annika Walls is working at 1 o'clock to create a new job stewardship program. It's going to be up and running by the end of July. It's not going to be called LAPS. She's creating a whole new name. There's not going to be any point system. And every person that wants to be a job steward will not be denied. If I hear of anyone being denied the ability to become a job steward, we're going to have problems. Okay? Now, if someone wants to reach out to me and you want to become a job steward much faster, then you should reach out to me. A lot of people have. Cindy Doyle, have we talked to SIU Legal about whether we can legally give money to the employees of CDCR due to the closure? What did legal say? Absolutely legal. We can do it. If we couldn't do it, then I wouldn't have been having an emergency board meeting, Cindy. Okay, move on. So I see your recall for Richard Wake. We're not trying to recall DLC presidents or statewide officers or bunk chairs. We're going to get through this. We're going to work together. Okay, let's see here. Someone else. Hey, Diane wants to come on, I guess. So let's see. So we're waiting for Diane to come on. And while we're waiting, I see a question about the COPE. That's yet to be determined. But the COPE is not our fund to use anyway. It goes to international. They determine that. All right. So I guess that person made a mistake. Okay. We don't determine where the COPE fund is used. It goes to international. They determine where that money is spent, not us. All right. Cindy Doyle, once again, we can legally give money to those. We're putting the money aside. We had a way to disperse it. That was part of the email that you received as a DLC president. DLC President 790, Cindy Doyle. And the legal did not talk anything about doing a 1099 or anything else like that. It's for food, housing, childcare. But you saw that in the email we sent you. Let's move on. Craig Nelson, the legal department knew of the proposals and they approved other proposals. But remember, I talked to the legal department about this and they said everything was fine. Let's move on. Elder Ortiz, thank you. When you say give him a chance, he just started. Listen, Elder Ortiz, these people, many of these people are not going to give me a chance. They're just not, because they're resistant to, quote, creating a new culture, which means we got to actually create a labor union and do things like we've never done before. And so these people are resistant to it, and some of them will never, never work with me. And that's fine, because in this country, you can do what you want to do. You know, I'm not going to cancel people out. I'm not going to try to control people's behavior or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Again, Cindy, though, you keep putting these texts, and again, I'm telling you, legal has said that everything I wanted to do was perfectly legal, but you continue to question legal's legal advice to me. So DLC 790 President Cindy Doyle, you've never questioned legal before about their legal advice to the former president, but now it appears that you're questioning the advice that legal is giving me. That's very interesting to me. Very interesting. Let's move on. So I see Leslie Neely having a conversation with Elder Ortiz. And now they're talking about, he campaigned about not being on politics, but now the issue is that we work for the state, so we can't escape talking about politics, even if we want to. Now, Leslie Neely, that's a great point. And Mindy also made a great point. But what everyone fails to remember is everyone wants to be so politically active, but yet you can't tell me why we lost this money. Everyone wants to tell me how important SIU International is, but yet you cannot tell me why we lost money in furlough or POP, regardless of who the governor was from what political party. Y'all cannot tell me this. You keep sprouting off about politics matters, but we continue to lose money time and time again. And there's no answer for it because you don't have a strike fund, because you're not fighting for yourself. Okay. What am I doing to build unity for the board? I'll try to have conversations with some of those DOC presidents. Have I been able to have a private conversation with the entire board? Not yet. But they have my number. My number is readily available. I think the question is, Craig Nelson, are they trying to build unity with me? I think the question is, when you see Richard Wake saying the things that he says on Facebook, is that building unity with me, Craig Nelson? In fact, Craig Nelson, I would say, is that your real name, Craig Nelson? It just makes me wonder about building unity. When you have Richard Wake, DLC President 767, Richard Wake, talking about, I'm not his president. That's the same thing they said about President Barack Obama years ago. People would spout off and say that he wasn't their president. So it appears to me that DLC 767 Richard Wake, DLC 767 President Richard Wake is saying the same thing that people said about President Obama years ago. The same thing. He's saying the same thing, that I'm not his president. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not going to try to silence his voice or censor him or try to remove him from the board. No. Let's move on. Danielle Lee, I would encourage you to not be so rude to people on Facebook if you don't want to be. Okay. I don't know if that's to me or to someone else. Oh, that's to Richard Wake. Okay. Well, look, everyone. When you're on Facebook, you're going to get that action. Sometimes positive action, and oftentimes negative action. So you have to be a tough cookie to go on Facebook. Okay. Yes, I'm going to be totally transparent. So when people make the argument or make the, people are trying to paint the narrative of Kim Wiley that I'm just like the former president. But yet I'm the one who's giving you all this transparency in the videos. I'm the one that's saying get out of politics. When she says stay in politics. I'm the one that says we have to develop a strike fund. When did she ever tell you that? I'm the one that says that in our next contract, Kyle HR will never be the final decision maker. Did she ever tell you that? So they're trying to tell you that I'm just like the former president. But I know why they say that. I know why. And I think you know why too, Kim Wiley. I'm nothing like the former president. She was taking a salary stipend. She was making if she had been reelected, her regular salary would have been $58,653, but her salary stipend would have been $68,865. I'll repeat that for you again. Her regular salary, if she had been reelected, would have been $58,653, but her salary stipend would have been $68,865. Now my salary stipend would have been $46,646, but I refused it. No VP is getting the salary stipend. I'm not signing for it. When they tell you, just like Yvonne, I'm sorry, the former president, not true. And you know that's not true. For the OPEB contract, OPEB, that's the plan. Oh, Rosemary Ann, the health stipend, I don't know. That I don't know. I got to find you that answer. And you know what? A lot of people are going to have strong comments about that answer, and I'm going to listen. We have one on the line here. Danielle Lee, so we're going to approve her. So we're waiting for Danielle. We're waiting. And I want to thank everyone for coming on tonight. We've had a lot of people come on. And we've been going over an hour.
Hey, Richard.
I'm 15.
How are you?
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
sorry. I'm a little under the weather,
okay.
so I apologize for the way I look on this live. But I guess I wanted to know, so what is your plan coming up about the union staff that a lot of people were upset about it, and I just wonder how you plan to form relationships with people that are basically upset. So I guess my question to you is, with people like Rich Wake, calling you a neo-fascist and stuff like that, what do you foresee this union becoming?
So it's not been something that's always been done like that. So I know they're upset, and they kind of, in a sense, Danielle, it's very ironic that they're mad about not having full-time union leave when the agenda item 2 was about union leave for the 3 vice presidents. So they're mad about not having full-time union leave, and so they didn't. It's interesting, and that's all I have to say.
Would you want to make them do like some sort of justification for any type of leave that they wanted to take? Because to me, that would make sense. If you say you're doing all these things, first off, there was a couple of people who said that they were interfacing with members. I've never met these people a day in my life. But I mean, would you think about wanting them to do a justification for those hours that they claim as union leave? Is that on the table?
Well, again, they can do their meet and confers by on state release time. They wouldn't be on union leave. And so therefore we would, save a lot of money.
Okay. And then, do you
Yeah.
have a suggestion for who you want as your VPs with this election that is currently underway?
I guess the safe answer to say is may the best person win. I feel bad.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and much love and safety to everybody working.
Lansing County. I cannot fix my Wi-Fi. Stop sending me text messages. I'm in Lansing County. They may not have good Wi-Fi. I'm in Lansing County for tomorrow. My phone is working just fine. So this is breaking up. I apologize for that. Okay, so I still see Richard Riggs saying that I'm for right to work. That's just a lie. And when people tell these lies about me as a Local 1000 president, that's not Richard Wake. I want DLC president. Our country. This Cindy Doyle, once again, legal department said what I was doing was perfectly fine, and we tried to do a board. DLC 790 falling into the water. You have no argument, Cindy. You don't. You don't. Let's move on. What is your plan for the cost of living increase for our next Ruby Hignite Madden. I love this. This is good. Advantages for members can vote and non-members cannot. While the NEO training presentation be rewritten to reflect voting ability and benefits of being a member versus a non-member. You know what? That's a great question. And hopefully you'll send that question to Annika Walls. And when they go or Walmart, Costco, so they charge a membership for you to go in there and shop, but you can go anywhere else. When you are represented by Local 1000, you cannot go anywhere else and not be able to negotiate your wages and working conditions. You cannot go anywhere else and have your wages and working conditions negotiated for you. That is controlled by Local 1000. And therefore, when they make that comparison about going to Costco, that's a silly comparison. There is no comparison. They don't have the exclusive representative control to control what buy to go anywhere to buy any goods. Specification is represented by Local 1000. You cannot go anywhere else. Your they pay money or not. How are you?
Mr. President, I finally was able to manage some of the difficulties I'm having with my my smartphone here. My name is Larry Griggs. I am in DLC 729. I've been a steward for the past 12 years and a district bargaining unit representative, bargaining unit 4 for the past 6 years. I represent North Kern State Prison and the members that we have at that correctional institution. I've seen you taking some lumps and bumps tonight for more of our hardcore members. However, the institution had wanted me to participate as soon as possible in one of the calls as soon as you had taken over. And they're hoping for more unification of our union. We're hoping that you'll be able to, and as difficult as it is going to be, that is one of the biggest challenges that you'll have, is unifying this union so that we can move forward in positive direction together with power. And they're hoping that some of the lofty goals that you did explain on your platform during your election campaign, that we can achieve most of that. And we're ready to stand and assist to support you in doing that here in Central California. So once again, I want to congratulate you on your election. Look forward to working with you here in the future, and hopefully we'll resolve some of these problems and issues that are coming about you this evening on tonight's call.
Larry Griggs, thank you. I need it. Thank you very much. That touches my heart. And see, I not to say too much, but I'll say quickly, I can count votes, and I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. And so I have to get to these prisons as quickly as I can. No, I'm not trying. I will see High Desert tomorrow. I will see the California Correctional Center, CCC tomorrow. I will go to that community event tomorrow evening at Lassen County. And I know the pain and the struggle that CDCR representatives go through. I know you want that hero money, that premium pay, you want that central money.
They have been asking about this. Yes, they have, on my ear.
I know. I took over from the staff, said, oh, we're at this part in the process to get the money. You know, the former president started this process, but Richard, you have to finish it. You know, they never said, well, you know, you may not like the governor, but you, Richard, it behooves you to finish this process. The former president already started because the billions of surplus has been there for a while. So, you know, the question is, where's the money at, and which people should get it? And so when people say that politics matter and that this particular governor is so labor friendly and that he has our back, tell you where the money's at. And so, you know, it was so nice to meet this evening, and other people have been really nice to me. But, you know, people can be nice all that they want. What I want to know is the money. You show me that where that money's at, and I'll show you how nice somebody is to you. And I don't want to just single out the money, because continue in certain jobs to continue to come to work. But argue about we all deserve worker pay because we should never lost our money to begin with.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, thank you, and then I'm gonna go on to the next person. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. We'll be talking soon.
Right.
Okay.
Good. Very nice
Right.
speaking with you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, so is going to become a labor union. Again next Wednesday.